Welcome to Daily Dose of Growth. Uh, Today, we're going to embark on a journey together. I'm super excited to share why I'm starting this channel and how we'll be able to explore personal growth and the profound impact of mindset and relationships on our lives. If you've ever felt like you're not quite sure what your purpose is or how to take the next step on your journey, you're in the right place. Together, we're going to discover these answers. Every one of us has a unique path in life. And my mission, my purpose, my mission, my cause is to help each person that I come in contact with realize and achieve their best self, whatever that means to them. Whether that's understanding your dreams or in improving relationships or mastering self-awareness, we're going to dive deep into those topics as this channel evolves. So think of this channel as your personal workshop for self-discovery and improvement, right? Here we'll explore not just ideas but practical steps that you can take to integrate into your daily life, right? I'm really big on action steps that we can implement today. It's all about making small incremental changes that add up to a massive transformation, right? And I'm not just talking to you, but I'm on this journey as well. I'm on this journey with you, right? So the things that I talk about are my personal experiences, things that I've learned, things that I've implemented into my life, and things that I'm learning on this journey. And so we'll be able to tackle these challenges together, right? Learning from each other as we grow. And this is from exploring what really makes us tick to uncovering how to live more intentionally each and every day, right? And this, I want this to be your go-to space for becoming the architect of your own life, right? And if you don't know what any of this means, that's totally okay, right? Hopefully, with future videos as this channel evolves, I can give you something that can help you to identify what your definition of success is, what your definition of growth is, what your definition of happiness is, right? So, what you can expect from this channel is discussion. Potentially, we'll be able to do some interviews in the future, bring on individuals that can help us to continue to expand our minds and expand our experiences. Personal stories, personal experiences that I'm going through, that I've gone through, and action steps, right? All aim to help us cultivate a resilient and empowering mindset, right? We'll discover or we'll dive into how our thoughts truly shape our reality and how we can use the power of our mind to help us to forge better relationships and build stronger mental habits and overcome obstacles, right? I want this channel to be a community where we grow together, right? So I encourage you to comment below, share your thoughts, share your experiences, and even suggest topics that you want us to explore, right? Your input is invaluable as we shape this journey together. All right. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be reminded when weekly videos are released. So now that we've got that out the way, why we're here, I want to set the stage for this journey, right? And I want to unpack some key concepts that we'll frequently explore on this channel. And understanding these terms will empower us to have deeper, more meaningful discussion as we progress. Right. So first, the first term is mindset. You've heard this term a lot. It's been super popular over the past couple of years. But mindset is essentially the set of attitudes or fixed ideas that each of us hold, right? And it's like the lens that we view the world, right? The perspective that we see the world. And it shapes every interaction, every decision, and every reaction that we have, right? Whether you approach a problem from a can do attitude or from a perspective or an attitude of assuming that it's too hard before you even try, right? That's your mindset in action. Okay. So that's a key term that I want us to remember and will frequent. The next one is a growth mindset, right? This term was brought into the limelight by a psychologist, Carol Dweck, who studied how people succeed and adapt to challenge. And a growth mindset isn't just about effort, but it's about believing that our abilities and our intelligence into our intelligence can develop through perseverance, right? Effective strategies and input from others, our community. And it's about seeing challenges as a stepping stone to learn from rather than obstacles that trip us up or stop us, right? And so, what we'll talk about on this channel is how to develop a growth mindset and how we can then implement that growth mindset in each area, in every facet of our lives. Okay. And then the next term is perfection, right? Often we think of perfection as a flawless state, right? I want to take a cue from Aristotle. And in Aristotle, in his experiments and inventions, he used the word perfection, but when he used that word perfection describing his creations, it was in comparison to that thing's self. Is this the best version, the best that it can be? Are there any changes that can be made to this thing? Not comparing that thing to a completely different thing, but comparing that thing to itself. And so, my definition of perfection is in comparison to myself, right? And so, I believe that true perfection is being 1% better every day, right? It's not about never making mistakes, but it's about evolving. It's about improving incrementally. And each day is an opportunity for us. It's an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, to build new relationships, to refine skills, right? To take a step closer to the goals that we have for ourselves and for our lives and for our community, right? This perspective is a shift, and it shifts the focus from being flawless and not being able to make mistakes to embracing the journey and embracing the mistakes as learning opportunities so that we can continue this process of growth, right? So it takes the pressure off and it allows us to look at challenge, to look at experiences truly as an opportunity to learn and grow, knowing that we're going to make mistakes along the way. And as we make those mistakes, we can learn the lessons that are necessary and learn the lessons that are required to become better, right? So I call this the 1% club, which we'll talk about later. And then the last key term is core beliefs. These are core beliefs are the deeply held convictions that silently guide us and guide our thoughts and guide our actions every day, right? They form the foundation of how we perceive the world, right? Back to that mindset. Our core beliefs help to cultivate the mindset that we approach the world with. And sometimes these beliefs, these core beliefs, they support our growth, right? And other times they might hold us back or keep us from doing new things. And these core beliefs are ingrained in us from childhood all the way through really adulthood and the experiences that we have. And so recognizing and potentially challenging those core beliefs can lead us to really profound personal transformations, right? And it's about getting to the root of what makes us tick. And sometimes it calls for replanting ourselves, right? Replanting ourselves in more fertile soil mentally that will allow us to then move forward through the experience that we're currently going through. Right. So we're going to talk about core beliefs and how to identify core beliefs, what our core beliefs are, and then how to change those and how changing those can really impact the trajectory of our lives and where we desire to go. So understanding these terms, right? Mindset, growth mindset, perfection, my definition of perfection, and core beliefs gives us a toolkit to work from, right? For our future discussions, and they help us to frame our experiences, right, and our aspirations in a way that fosters um, understanding and growth. So take a minute and think about your own life, right? Which of these concepts resonates with you, right? Leave your thoughts in the comments, right? I love to hear your thoughts and your experiences related to these key terms and how you've experienced them in different facets of your life, right? So let's let's shift. Let's shift our focus for a minute. And I want us to talk about a tool. This tool is incredibly powerful, but it's often overlooked. And that tool is language, right? The language we use and the stories we tell ourselves. Think about it. Language doesn't just help us to communicate, right? But it actually shapes our reality. Back to that mindset piece, the words that we choose, the narrative that we create about our experiences and about our future aspirations, they they don't just reflect our thoughts, but they shape them, right? They influence our emotions and our decisions and ultimately the path that we choose to take in life. And so every time we tell ourselves something like, I can't do this, right? This is too hard. We're setting the boundaries for our capabilities, right? We're closing the door on opportunities because we've already told ourselves that that's not possible, right? But what if we flip the script, right? What if instead we said, I haven't mastered this yet, right? This change is an opportunity to grow, right? This challenge is an opportunity to grow, right? There's a shift in the feeling of the words, right? And it empowers you to give it one more go, to try one more time. So I just haven't done it yet. So the door isn't closed on the opportunity, right? So let's share a quick story. There was a time when I used to think I was a terrible public speaker. I didn't like the sound of my voice. I didn't like the filler words that I used. And every time I thought about speaking in front of crowds or in front of groups, I told myself, I'm just not good at this. And so I'd stumble and I'd fumble. And when I get nervous, I sweat, right? And my palms get sweaty. You can see my scalp start to sweat. And that became my reality of me not being a good public speaker because that's all I focused on. But then I started to change my narrative, the story that I told myself. And I began to tell myself that I'm learning to become better at public speaking, right? And slowly, the more I told myself that, right, the more I began to feel better about the experience. And we'll also talk about a lot of science on this channel, right? And how the brain works and how the body works and how the mind body connection works. But we'll talk about specific terms and specific pieces of the brain and the mind and how they ultimately help us to survive. But what you focus on, you get, right? And I was able to change my focus. I was able to change my focus and look at the process of learning how to speak publicly, right? And I was able to then shift my emotions regarding public speaking altogether. And I became more confident in that experience, right? And that's the power of narrative, right? When we change our language, right? We're not just changing our dialogue, but we're changing our mindset. We're literally changing the brain and the neuronic connections within the brain. And that opens up to a whole new world of possibilities when we change the words that we choose. So I want us to try something, right? Think about an area of your life right now that you feel stuck or you feel negative about, right? How have you been talking to yourself about that experience? Right? What narrative have you constructed about that experience, be it current or past? Now, think about how you can rewrite that narrative to empower yourself. Right? Future videos will also talk about changing the label of experience and what that looks like and how we can do that and how we can ultimately control and detach from past experiences to then create a new version of our future. Right? It's not about deleting what happened, but it's about changing the label that we've placed on that experience. Right? So again, I love to hear what comes up for you. Right? So leave your thoughts in the comments and share your stories on how, if you've been able to change your narrative in the past, how that went for you. What was your experience, right? What steps did you take to change that narrative for yourself, and how did it ultimately impact your life, right? I want this to truly be a community, and I want us to be able to learn from each other and grow from each other. So remember that the words we speak, and the stories we tell ourselves are extremely powerful, right? And they have the power to either limit us or to propel us forward. So we want to choose the words that we use wisely and want to craft a narrative for our life that leads us toward the life we desire, as opposed to taking us back to where we came from. All right. So another critical aspect of this growth journey is our relationships, right? Personal development isn't just about self reflection and self improvement, but it's equally about our connections with others, right? It complements them. And so think about it, right? The people around us, our family, our friends, our coworkers, our acquaintances, they play significant roles in our life, and they've helped to shape who we are, right? And they've influenced us in different ways, right? Our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs, right? And even our emotions, right? And so these individuals, they can challenge us, they can support us, and they can inspire us, right? But in order to really cultivate those, we have to work on ourselves. And as we work on ourselves, those relationships have the ability to improve, right? So, like I said, this channel, we're going to occasionally feature um, insights from different people, right? Different experiences. And periodically, you'll see my wife, right? We'll come on and we'll talk, and she'll talk about relationship things, and she'll talk about things from a female perspective. And together, we'll explore the dynamics of personal relationships and their profound impact on our personal growth, right? So our relationships, they act like a mirror, if we're honest, right? They reflect back to us aspects of ourselves that we may not have seen on our own, right? And they offer us feedback sometimes that challenge us, right? In different ways, challenge us that I need to work on that because that triggered me, right? And sometimes they affirm what we're doing and where we're going and what we're thinking. But always, right? The relationships are essential for our growth, right? Getting that feedback from others, right? And that feedback can come just through experience. They help us to see different perspectives. They teach us empathy and more importantly, they teach us about our own strengths and our own areas of improvement. Relationships are extremely important in this journey, right? And we'll talk about those as we continue to evolve, right? So as I wrap up this first video on this new channel, I want you to take a moment to reflect on what we've talked about, right? The different areas that we'll ultimately tap into at different times. And I want you to remember the incredible power that you have, that we have to redefine our lives. Every step that you take adds up, right? Every lesson that you learn adds up. Everything that we experience was created for us to learn something that will help us move in the direction that we desire. Everything that we experience is meant to serve us. So things happen for us, not to us. It helps us to craft this masterpiece we call life, right? This channel isn't just about videos, and it's really about engaging and participating and applying what we learn, right? It's about building a community where we can all grow together, right? Share our triumphs, support each other through difficult times, right? So here's a thought that I want you to carry with you. Transform your words to transform your world. Let's harness the power of narrative and let's shift the narrative of our life together, right? Let these words guide you. Let these words help you as you navigate your path on this personal growth journey as we go through this journey together. So, small request as we wrap things up, right? Hit the subscribe button, like this video. If today's message resonates with you at all, right? Drop a comment below, share what personal growth means to you, what your goals are, what challenges you might be facing. Let's build this community where we lift each other up. And then, if there's somebody that this video might resonate with, please feel free to share it. All right. Thanks so much for watching, being part of this new beginning. Super excited about what's to come. I'm excited to see where this journey takes us together. So stay tuned for the next video. Have a phenomenal day. Let today be a foundational building block in your life. Find your 1% today. Peace.